Very good. Thank you, Ingrid. Are we live? Welcome, everyone. I think we are live. Welcome to our Success Mastermind for Friday the 20th, exactly 1 week after Friday the 13th, August 2021. John Lavenia here with you, and Ingrid and Ace, Cyril, Daisy's here, Linda, Lindsay. Welcome, everyone. It's Fun Friday, and I'm appropriately dressed. Who else is appropriately dressed? I don't see anyone else wearing Hawaiian shirts. You know what? That's tragic. Ace, we need to get you a nice Hawaiian shirt, brother. You deserve some palm trees and yeah, all that good stuff. Good to see you all, though, nonetheless. It has been nonstop action for me this week. And of course, you got to hear from me just yesterday because Mark is doing his thing and I'm taking over every other Thursday. I hear that we did not have a brand builder event last night. That was on the calendar and somehow it got not done. There is an entire library of recordings, though. So for those who were looking for that, definitely go back into the archive. We've got so much stuff that we've produced. You know, sometimes I just go into the members site and I look around. In fact, let me go ahead and share my screen right now. For those of you tuning in on YouTube who are wondering what else happens behind the scenes here and the John Lavenia Success Mastermind, lots of stuff. So here's my account that I've set up. And so check this out. So we got all this stuff on the menu that we do throughout the week. Look at all this. Amazing, right? And then here's the recordings. Look at this archive. Holy cannoli. So here's like the book study stuff. Right now we're going through Working with the Law, Raymond Hollywell. By the way, guests are invited to that. If they go to jlsuccessmastermind.com/books, there's nothing to buy. Just sign up. If you're interested in talking philosophy once a week, we get together on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern US time. These are some of the books we've already read and studied as a group. Look at this. Crikey. Yeah. Okay. So we read. And what else? We got, you guys remember Adventures in Mindset? Some of this stuff is in the archive that, lived for a while. And then, facilitators went into, other fields and doing different things. This guy, Stuart, who ran Adventures in Mindset, wound up getting, back surgery. And I think he's hopefully getting back on the trail pretty soon. I got to reach out to Stuart here in the very near future. Life and Business Tools with Adrian Garner. This guy's a scholar. My goodness, he knows stuff. And so, yeah, look at all this. This is like way beyond, like you can go pay $150,000 for a college education and get like a tenth of this and have less marketable skills, by the way. Right. So we do stuff that matters here. And I'm glad that you're all a part of it. Group meditation sessions, tech talk. Oh, by the way, this morning, practical entrepreneurial tips. I know that we have some friends in the UK who are meeting right now, with Ego, our host for practical entrepreneurial tips. Right. So they're having a social time. Hooray for them. Do we have any Brits on here with us right now? Yeah, Cyril's here. Okay. So yeah, apparently they're having their social event right now. So that is beautiful. I'm really looking forward to having some social time with everyone as a larger group here. I'm thinking 2022, notwithstanding, 10 million other, conditions and stalls and stops and COVID and everything else. Of course, we are getting together here regionally in the Desert Southwest, USA. We're going to be getting together in Vegas, and that's going to be in October. Okay, so if you want more details on that, it's all on your members' Facebook group, which, of course, everyone who's a member has access to. Who's got a joke? Does somebody have a joke or a dog or a cat in their midst? My dogs are downstairs, so I like to present a dog, or maybe Ingrid's got her goose handy. We can just say hi to the goose. Or anyone have a joke they want to share, something funny they heard this week? Please feel free to come on out. Ingrid?
I'm driving to work, so luckily for me, there's no goose in the car.
Yeah. Now you've actually had a variety of wildlife in your house, like inside your house, right?
Yes.
Right. So I think Ingrid sent me a picture of a chicken on the couch, like hanging out with her on the couch.
Yes, he likes to watch movies, that one.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's not something we see every day. No. Thank you, Ingrid. Glad you're here. Anybody else got anything fun to share today? on this fun Friday, since you're not wearing Hawaiian shirts? No? Okay. So we'll just move
I
right
got
into it.
flip
Usually,
on because I'm going to work.
okay. Well, I guess that's the joke, right? But Ingrid, you've got a couple of weeks off.
Yeah,
Uh, that's right. So good times, and your business is blowing up. So well done, Ingrid.
thank
Um,
you.
Thank you. Thanks for being an on purpose person, right? Thanks for being someone who's here with, with a cause. Um, Little topic I wanted to share with everyone today, kind of a lighthearted thing. It was something I was reminded about, of course, while in the gym, listening to audiobooks and lectures and the stuff that I tend to listen to. As you guys know, I think Lindsay knows, when I'm in the gym, I'm either listening to, personal development audio programs or extreme death metal, one or the other, right? They both work well for me. So,
That's right.
right, right. So today was personal development day, because I need reminders, right? I need reminders all the time. I forget stuff. And I was reminded today about something that I think you're all going to be very excited about. And it's a way to get into the flow, with what's the currents in your life, including money. Okay, which is the area that I think a lot of people tend to focus on or fixate on, because you can go ahead and I suppose hit the gym like I do and address your body and your fitness and health and all that, and that's a good thing to do. And you can be conscious in your relations with others and how you communicate respectfully, and how you parent, and how you attempt to be a good example to others in life, and honor them and grant them the respect. That's nice. Okay. Well, when it comes to money, sometimes that seems a bit more, well, that's something you can't do alone, right? You don't just make a decision that, I shall now have money, and then, without the participation of anyone else on the planet, you get to experience the money. Okay. There's actually other people who participate in you having the money, right? All opportunities come through, not from, but through other people, right? Here's an opportunity that's coming through Mr. and Mrs. Customer. Okay. And they are someone I'm attempting to serve with whatever my product or service or opportunity is. And so we're going to exchange, right? I can't exchange with the wall. I can't exchange with the rock, right? We exchange with others who want something of value that I possess and that I'm able to be the purveyor of. And so when it comes to getting into the flow with money, this is something that a lot of times people kind of look at as more mysterious than, all right, let me go, hit the gym and lift weights and get big and strong or something. Okay. So here's something you can do, you of your own volition, without necessarily gaining agreement from anyone else. In fact, you don't even have to let anybody else know that you're doing it, but you can get into the flow with this nonetheless. And it is to give something away. To give something away. In other words, to express your own prosperity with an action. Okay, we're talking about an action here. And the action is, here's a great example. Here's a tithe. You guys familiar with tithing? So a tithe, which comes from, I think it's Greek, tenth, 1/10, right? So here's a tenth off the top of, my income, to doing the Lord's work. Let's say we're going to go ahead and put that into some contribution. Could be a philanthropic thing. Typically it revolves around wherever you get your spiritual sustenance, right? That could be church, or some faith oriented group, or basically to do good work. Okay. And so in this way, we are expressing our own prosperity and abundance. It's almost like an acknowledgement that this isn't even my money, right? So and wherever you're at with, I don't mean to get religious here with anybody, so interpret this however you like, but this is God's money. And he's allowing me to keep, he or she or it, or the universe is allowing me to keep 90% of it. That's a pretty good deal. Let me go ahead and put 10% into doing that work and keep that flow going. I'm grateful for the 90%. Now, some people look at this and they're like, well, if I'm in a deficit condition right now, How do I, reconcile like parting with some of that precious money? Right. Yeah. You know what my biggest expense is per year? Donations, biggest expense. And that's that's by choice, right? I mean, I can go ahead and I can put money into things that I guess toys and whatever. And sure, there's major business expenses too in my world. Okay, so I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, here's the profitability from that. So obviously, we're not talking about the overall expenses of running a business. Okay, but in terms of, would I rather give more tax money to the government, or would I rather put it into areas where I know, well, first of all, it's tax deductible, and secondly, it's doing rational work, right? It's not just being pissed down the drain by whoever the so-called leaders are, right? So that's a choice. That's a choice I can make. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's make that our biggest expense. That's a choice you could make, and it's probably a very good one. And not only will you have acknowledged the prosperity that's coming into your life and kept that flow going, right? Because a lot of times, here's the thing: a lot of times people look at money as a possession, right? And it's easy to do, right? To be a hoarder, to have the money, and to look at it as, here's my computer or my house or whatever, right? My money, okay, but money is actually a tool that must flow. If it stagnates, it's like clotted blood; it doesn't work. So what I'm offering you here is an idea on how you can initiate a flow in such a way that not only benefits all, right? Because all opportunities come through people, and it's got to come back. You can never give anything away. It always comes back. It's an expression of goodwill. It's also an expression of expectancy, because the flow happens. That means, I mean, you've got veins and arteries, right? So like if there was only flow, outbound, but never inbound, well, right? I mean, you expect when you outflow blood from the heart that blood will inflow as well. That's just right. And I'm not, a biologist or whatever, but this is how it works, right? By law. And if it doesn't work, you're dead, right? So that's got to work. Is that on that tiny little example of like the, vascular system or whatever, circulatory system, is that like only in the physical body? Is that not also the same law that we can see applied throughout life? So that's one way. That's one way that we can induce flow or initiate flow or increase flow with expectancy and with an expression that we'll notice. I don't know about anybody else. In fact, they don't need to notice. You don't have to go get an award for this or anything. You can do this anonymously, okay? But we'll notice. We'll notice that we're in the flow. And what does that do for our psyche, for our morale, for our expectations of that we're going in the right direction, and that this currency exists in my life? Look, I just proved it. I just proved that this current exists in my life. I demonstrated that. So now it's not nebulous anymore. Now it's not some mystical or esoteric thing. How does money work? What other things could you do? Okay, so I'm talking about the, I guess we could call it the law of giving, or current, right? What else could we do? Let's say that it doesn't even have to be money, okay? But by and large, that's like with tithing, that's what we're talking about. But let's say that that you have a situation where someone could use something that you possess, right? It could be, flowers from your garden or something. Maybe a neighbor's sick, right? Can you go ahead and bring them the bouquet, right? Or a card, or some expression of goodwill? That's also an outflow. That's also current, right? Doesn't have to even cost anything, but does not come back. Remember, you can never give anything away. It always comes back. In fact, pressed down and running over. This is the way of, well, I mean, you can read scripture on this, right? It's the way of faith. It's the way of knowing that, it's the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Okay, great. So, and maybe, it's via me that someone else gets the pleasure of, having received. So, I mean, it's perfect accounting, and we can't account for all this. It's not like I can keep score and say, well, I put the flowers over there, and so now I got to get the other thing over here. There's this thing called the butterfly effect, where you don't know, because you brightened somebody's day, and then they went on and did live their life, and then taught their kids, and let somebody get in front of them at the shopping cart line, and next thing 20 years later, the kid who was raised by the guy who had a better day because you gave the flowers to his wife, cures cancer or something and helps your family. You can't account for this, but that's okay. I'm not an accountant, universal accountant, but there is universal accountability, right? Some people can call this karma, or call it whatever you want, okay? But we're kind of in this together, aren't we? So, and hopefully we remember that. A lot of people don't remember that. Sometimes I don't remember that, okay? But anything that brings people, together with like common purpose and goodwill, I would say is productive, right? And of course, separatist ideas and things which divide people, we could say is counterproductive, right? And we could say that is the tools or the fruits of those who intend to dominate you, right? They like to divide people. So don't be that, right? What's the opposite of that? Be a giver. Be someone who has not only the expectancy that you receive, but also that other person can receive too. Could be, and back to something we've talked about multiple times, the idea of the impression of increase, right? It could be that you're in the grocery store, and in addition to paying for your groceries, you also compliment the cashier, right? Wow, that's a beautiful necklace, or thank you for your service or whatever, right? So something to just offer, an offering of goodwill. That's it. Something nice that they can receive. Doesn't cost you anything except intent, and a moment of what, attention, and that you brighten somebody else's day. Is that an outflow? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. That's current. It's all valid, guys. It's all valid. I guess the point with all this is, especially if you've had the tendency to be like a hoarder, like in a deficit, sort of a mindset, or a poverty, consciousness sort of a thing, is to get that flow going and to prove it to yourself. Prove it, right? By giving. Now, a lot of people on the other side of the spectrum, they want to get without giving. I get to confront these people all the time too. I'll tell you what, when you become successful, you tend to have people, parasites, right? I've seen this. I remember doing some work with I won't mention the name, okay, but someone who had become pretty famous. We were doing an event and speaking engagement, and this person was very protective of of course their phone number, and like what suite am I going to be in at the hotel, right? Like they don't want people knocking on their door and all this kind of stuff, because it's nonstop. People want to take, right? Because a lot of people don't have that prosperity mindset, where they think that the way to have more is to get from someone else. But remember, opportunities don't come from people; they come through people, right? The conversation can and should be, I think, how can I give? How can I exchange? What value can I offer to that person, right? But you get around people who have been taken from, or where many people have attempted to take from them, and they can set up walls pretty easily, right? With my work, what I like to do is make myself as available as possible to people, in hopes that they're going to receive something which costs me time, not necessarily money, okay, but because I've spent 35 years or so of my life studying these laws and how life works, and how to become successful and all this, if I can have something rub off on them, now they can perhaps transition from someone who's a taker, right, to a person who has mutual benefit for all people. I've heard, and this isn't a boast or anything, I'm just letting you know the feedback, that I've heard from many people is that, wow, I can finally use those ideas, which I read in the book 20 years ago and I never quite got it. And now suddenly it makes sense. And holy crap, I just had my best month in business. I've heard that from people right here in this group. Okay. And so well done, right? Well, friggin' done. Now I didn't do it for them. Okay. But I showed up in such a way that ideas became usable. If there's one thing that I'm good at, it's communications and getting ideas to actually stick and that people can use them. So if that's the gift, in fact, I affirm every day. And this is very personal to me. Okay. But part of my morning routine, when I get quiet and I see where I'm going and I get thankful, one of the things that I'm thankful for is that I'm being allowed to be a messenger. And so that's for me. Okay. And so, because if I didn't have that, if I wasn't granted that ability, then I would obviously be doing different kinds of work. Right. So this apparently is why I'm here. Okay. Well, thank you for that ability. So in that way, if we look at what our unique talents, and hey, Sandy, glad you're here, our unique talents and abilities, what is it that we can do to serve and to exchange with people abundantly, so that they are impressed with increase, whether it costs us money or not. Okay. But that creates that flow. And in terms of like sales and marketing in the world that I'm in, predisposes and pre-motivates people to do what? To want to exchange with me, right? Hey, I already got value from Daisy, right? So Daisy's awesome. Daisy shows up in my life. Daisy's a valuable person in my life. And so, Daisy sells stuff too. You know what, Daisy, tell me a bit more about that, that product. Is that like mysterious to anybody? It's not mysterious to me at all. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. The best way to impress someone with increase is to actually impress them with increase, right? The best way to demonstrate that you have value here with this product that you can buy is to prove to them by giving them value, right? And now, oh, there's a valuable person. Well, maybe I'll buy their product now, right? And this has been called moving the free line. There was a famous successful online marketer who coined that term, moving the free line, right? So here, have the free report. Here, let me solve your problem for free. Okay, this is one little, chip in the iceberg here. We're going to go ahead and solve that problem, and let me demonstrate to you that your problem is solvable. Yes, something can be done about it. Here's some instruction. Here's a free course. Here's a PDF download, whatever. Okay. Oh, and by the way, here's the main course, right? So that was the hors d'oeuvre, right? Right, if you really want to dig in, let's go ahead and dig in. Well, yeah, here's some money. Let's dig in now, right? So that's all. It's, again, not being a hoarder of benefits. I've heard it said that any ability that you hoard becomes a liability. Huh. Okay. Kind of like with stuff, there's this saying, things are the thieves of time. Right? I got my stuff. I got to polish my stuff. Right? Things are the thieves of time. I remember I had this car, and it got a little scratch, a little scrape on some of the interior plastic, and very, very minor. Okay, very minor. But I like my shit to be perfect. Okay, and so I was like, oh my goodness, I got to find the part number on this. I got to order the part from the dealer. I don't know. And then I was thinking, you know what? I can barely see this little tiny scratch, and and I buffed it, whatever. It's nice, and I'm not going to have this car forever. I wonder. It was even in the back seat, which I'm never in. Okay, if somebody kicked, a little scratch with a shoe or whatever, and so you know what? I'm going to not fix it. I'm going to not fix it. And then I don't even have that car anymore, and whoever bought the car obviously doesn't care that much either. They probably didn't even notice it. I'm the perfectionist guy, right? And so they got the car, and they like the car, and that's it. That's it. It didn't cost me any time, because I just kind of put it in perspective. That doesn't mean you don't take care of your stuff and all that. I do. I take care of my stuff. I tend to keep stuff a long time. But the point is that if we're attached, if we're possessed by our own possessions, which a lot of people are we in the flow? I just want you to think about flow. Just think about the whole concept of flow and where in your life could you induce flow. And I think probably one area that we could all be conscious of is in our own personal prosperity. Glenn, our friend Glenn Henderson, talks about this on Wednesdays, right? What does he call it? Wealth Wednesday or something, where you can go ahead and give a few dollars to pay for the person at the toll booth, or whatever the methods are, right? We don't have toll booths here in Arizona, right? We drive for free. Anyway, I think I'm done talking. Wow, we're 26 minutes in already. What do you guys think about this? Is there like, or do you do this, right? Do you create that flow? Do you tithe? Is there some other? I'm thinking Janet may have some ideas on this because she knows stuff, right? Ingrid knows stuff. What do you think, Ingrid?
So I do quite a lot of tithing. 10% is kind of minimum. And yeah, I mean, and I'm always giving everything away because I get stuff and then I realize that I don't need it, or someone else can be better served by it. I feel like they're doing me a favor, actually. And then everybody's happy, and it always comes back. Like I posted on our local group. We have a local group, where I live, Valley Neighbors Helping Neighbors. I'm always giving stuff away. So I'm having this situation where I can't find anyone to do the weed whacking because no one wants to actually work. And I just wrote, I'm really looking for some guys to do some weed whacking. I can't do it all. It's, too many acres, la, la, la. This guy me ad. I mean, I was hiring, and he came over. He said, "I always read your stuff, and you're always giving stuff away. So I'd like to donate my services." I'm like, "Okay, then. Thank you so much." So yeah, it always comes around. And I was actually laughing when you were telling about people wanting to get your information. Remember when we were talking and that guy was messaging you? Didn't he want like Elon Musk's phone number or something?
Oh yeah. Or Jeff Bezos. He wanted me to get in touch with Jeff Bezos.
Oh, Bezos. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Right.
So it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a total believer in it's just money. There'll be more, there'll be less. Let's keep it going.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you, Ingrid. So in the flow and flippant and relaxed. That's beautiful. I think a good affirmation, if people want one, is I feel totally carefree about everything in life, including money. Try that on. See how that goes. What do you think, Janet? Come on out, my friend.
Hello, darling. Well, I give a lot of my time and my knowledge. So that's what I do. Not so much money, but except for organizations that take care of us, take care of the environment, whatever like that. That's probably where I donate more. But like last night, I was on the phone with her twice. She's trying to get stuff. Well, I understand. I'm happy to give you the time. I'm happy to do this for you, and make you happy. And I like to exchange my time and my talents for people feeling better and feeling joyful and feeling happy. And it makes me happy. So it's not, I don't do it to make me happy. I'm just happy that it does make people happy, that it does improve their lives. And if I'm giving of my healing or something like that to strangers I don't know and will never see again, I always say thank you for the ability to be able to do these things. If I often find people in doctors' offices who need healing, who knew, but I do things, in out in the waiting room for people. I've had some amazing things happen. And it's just, I just always say thank you for the ability and the knowledge to be able to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I do it. But I'm always grateful that I can do it. So I'm kind of like double. I'm giving and I'm grateful at the same time.
Beautiful. Wow. So well said. Thank you, Janet. Thank you for being a giver. That is beautiful.
You're welcome.
All right. Where's Edward? Where's Mr. Mosley? Let's get Edward out here.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Hey.
The way that we like to do it is do it in 4 categories: prayers, presence, gifts, and service. Prayers, that is to give someone peace of mind in terms of you being involved in their, struggle or whatever the case may be, and offering your prayers up. Presence has to do with the time that you give to someone because you happen to be there, or you make an effort to make sure that you're there for them. Your presence can be money. It can be things that are needed by the family or needed by the person, or, whatever the case may be. And then service has to do with, whatever service you can provide. We volunteer for different financial boards and things like that, and also make sure that people understand about, different financial things that we have, exposure to. So prayers, presence, gifts, and service is pretty much, a mantra from the ministry that I'm a part of, and as well as, what I try to do with my business as well. So that's what we do it.
Beautiful. Wow. So you got structure with that as well. That is awesome, man. You know what I was just reminded of as you were talking, and Ingrid was talking as well. There was this, anybody ever heard of an Amish barn raising? Amish barn raising. So the Amish get together, and today's the day where we're building Farmer John's barn, right? And so like this whole barn goes up in a day. Like the whole community gets together. Okay. And then, it could be 6 months down the road or whatever. And now it's, the other guy's barn, and you damn well better show up and because like, here's 100 people, that barn's going up in a day. Right. So, wow. Yeah. Thank you, Edward. And Ace got a Hawaiian shirt on. I see you, brother. I see you. Can you guys see Ace? Looking good, man. We match. Great colors. Yeah. All right. Anybody else want to? Oh, Ace, you got the floor. Come on out, brother.
I said it's even a Harley Hawaiian shirt.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's a Harley Davidson.
Oh, look at that. Harley Davidson. I see it. Well, now the price just doubled. Yep.
At least $100, right?
That's it. HD, $100.
But
So,
on the subject, I believe I'm a pretty generous person, and when I was a kid, my parents had some like bad medical problems and car accident and stuff, and my dad had cancer, and I mean they were just flat ass broke, And we had more than one Christmas that was funded by the church or whatever, So I've never forgot that. And I mean, whenever I can have a chance to help somebody, I do. And whether you get anything back in it or not, you still get the feeling. You get a great feeling by being of service to somebody. So I think it's a very important part of your life to be a charity guy within reason.
Thank you, Ace. Yeah, thank you for being a giver, and you've recognized that you have received, right? So I think it's just being conscious of this stuff and initiating it as well. Thank you, Ace.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right. I see Ingrid's hand is up again. Hey, Ingrid.
Hi. I just wanted to add something interesting, just listening to everybody talk. Everyone sounds so more cheerful and so much lighter when we're talking about this topic. Like it makes everybody happy. That's really good.
Yeah. Good noticing. Yeah. That's, we're not rats looking for cheese, trying to get, with all that anxiety and rigidness. So, yeah, it just feels right. Thank you, Ingrid. Anybody else want to come out here today? All right. So, so what do we got? We got our Be Heard session on the calendar for 6 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. between now and then, I will probably be in this exact spot the majority of the time because I got a million clients to call and everything else that's going on today. Hopefully, you've got a lot of action that you can you've got on your calendar today, and maybe a little break, something where you can go and do something fun, flippant, and perhaps contributory, just to keep that flow going. So really glad to be here with you all. I'll hopefully see anyone who wants to be there live on Be Heard at 6 p.m. Otherwise, I'll see you back here for general session as we kick off our next week on Monday morning. Okay, you guys have a great day.
I
Bye
won't
for
be
now.
there. I'm in the middle of a concert, but have a good time.
All right, Ingrid, have a great concert. See you.